Hey everybody, my name is Coach Nick and I want to welcome you to Fit Body Bootcamp Dublin. Here, our goal is to make you comfortable and help change your life for the better. We're about two things, fat loss and muscle toning. That's all we do here. We want to show you some of the things that we do here at Fit Body Bootcamp Dublin so that when you come in and work out over the next several months, that you feel comfortable and you know what to expect and you know what we expect from you. So in this video, we're going to show you all sorts of things. So sit down, relax, and let's get started. Now every week what we want you to do is this guy combined with this guy and this guy. So your weight and your body fat. Now weight and body fat is super important because it helps you see results. Body fat much more than weight. Weight is really just a number. It doesn't tell you anything really about what's going on internally. With body fat you'll get to tell whether your body fat is going down, muscle tones going up, all that good stuff. So you want to make sure you do body fat and weight once a week, and when you do it, you're going to record it right in this computer. Don't worry, on day one we're going to show you how to do this so you have no questions. But again, weight and body fat every single week is huge. The people that do that see the best results. So let's see some good results. Come in to work out at Fit Body Bootcamp Dublin. First thing you want to do is walk through the doors, say hello to your coach, say hello to some of your friends, because you will make friends. And you want to come to the back of the room where we have the pre-fat burn. Now, every day, Captain Fitbody, no, it's not Captain America. Okay, it might be. Captain Fitbody is going to tell you what the pre-fat burn is, and that's the warm-up. So it's 2 to 4 minutes before the workout, you're going to want to show up and complete the pre-fat burn. So today is 2 sets of these exercises. Now let's say you don't know what an inchworm is. That's okay. So what you do is you go find the coach and say, hey, coach, I don't know what an inchworm is. And the coach will come show you. That way, before the workout starts, your heart rate's up a little bit, you're getting in community, you're getting to work out a little bit more. It's all good. So make sure you do come 2 to 4 minutes early and complete the pre-fat burn. Now, for about the first week as you come in, you're going to be a little lost, not knowing exactly how things go. You know, we've had people here for years that are comfortable with the workout, know what they're doing, and feel very comfortable. We don't want you to necessarily do exactly what they're doing. Sure, you can follow their lead, but take it easy this week. Don't go 100%. Get comfortable with the workout because we never want you to feel sick or lightheaded or dizzy. That's not what we're about. Now, when it comes to the workout, most days are going to be a primary and a secondary exercise. So usually 5 stations around the room. We're just looking at station 4 today. So how the workout generally goes, now every workout's different. Every day you could come in, it's going to be a different focus. But today we have a primary, which we do for about 45 seconds. The coach will say, okay, everybody go to the primary in 3, 2, 1, go. And you'll do the primary exercise. And then after about 45 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, depending on the day, coach will say secondary, and you'll go to the secondary exercise. And the coach will say back to the primary, and you go back to the primary, secondary, back to the secondary. And if you're wondering, well, how am I going to know what this exercise is? I don't know what slam ball in-sync squat is. Well, don't worry. During the warm-up, the coach goes around the room and makes sure you know what exercise is what. So you get to see him or her perform a slam ball in-sync squat, and then during this session, the coach is walking around making sure you know what you're doing, and if you have questions, you can always ask. Now we're on to the portion of exercise. We want to show you some of the basic exercises that we're going to do here at Fit Body Bootcamp Dublin. Every session is going to be different. Every workout is different, led by a different coach with a little different flair, but there are basic exercises and postures which you need to know to stay safe. The goal here at Fit Body Bootcamp Dublin is to get healthy, burn fat, tone muscle, and change your life in a positive way, and getting injured is not going to help. So watch what we're doing right now and feel free to follow along as we're doing these exercises because practice makes perfect. And then when you come in, feel free to ask us before or after the session or even during how to do these things properly, especially if we're doing them in the workout. Started with exercise, I want you to know where every exercise comes from, and that is anatomical neutral. So anatomical neutral, that's any Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine commercial you've ever seen. So it's those guys and girls that are standing like this. So, you know, it feels a little silly when you do it, but that is anatomical neutral. So what it is feet are about hip width apart based upon the bones right here, straight down from your hips. Feet are generally straight forward, not turned out, pretty straightforward. Your knees aren't totally straight, they're very slightly bent. Abdomen's drawn in, glutes are tight, chest is up, shoulders are back, elbows are pulled in, palms are facing inward. It's debatable. Sometimes they'll say palms face out. We'll just say palms face in. And then chin is tucked, head is nice and high. This is anatomical neutral posture. I'm assuming you don't stand like this all day, but we want to remember that that's where every exercise comes from. So if we're doing a bicep curl, we're not going to be doing this. We want to be in anatomical neutral posture and doing a bicep curl here. So always think when you're exercising, okay, I'm doing a shoulder press. Okay, I don't want to be here. Oh yeah, anatomical neutral. I'm going to stand as tall as I can and go through this motion. Most basic exercises we do here is a squat. So a squat, the biggest thing to know is that you want to bend here first rather than here first. So what I mean is we want to bring the butt back and then bend the knees rather than bending the knees and then bringing the butt back. That's going to put all the pressure on the knees. Whatever you move first, that's where the stress is going to go. So we want to shove that butt back and do that squat. We don't want to bend from the knees initially. So when you do that squat, feet are going to be slightly wider than hip width, just a little bit. If you want to turn the feet out a little bit, that's fine. But just make sure that those knees stay right over where those toes are. We don't want those knees coming in. We want to keep the knees right in line with where the toes are pointed. So just like this. So whenever you do a squat, remember that. Butt back first and keep those knees right over those toes. All right, everybody, another exercise we do quite often is a lunge. So I want to show you how to do a lunge properly. Now, a great way to learn is by finding some kind of straight line. So we use the Velcro in the boot camp as an example. So you can see I have one foot on either side. Feet are about hip width apart. Whenever you do a lunge, you want to make sure you step forward with a big step in a normal walking motion, normal gait. So we're not stepping right in front of the other foot. We just want to step forward, big step forward. So when you step, you're going to make sure your front foot is flat, back heel is down, weight's kind of on the outside of the foot, and the back heel is very off the ground. And then when you descend, we're thinking back knee goes straight down. What people often do is they think front knee keeps going forward, and then we get this heel coming off the ground, which is not what we want. So I'll give you a side view. So step into a lunge. Here, front foot is flat, back heel's off the ground. We want to descend down, kind of like we're making a square right here. What we don't want to do again is just move the knee forward, because that's going to take the heel off the ground, put all the stress on the knee. Essentially, if you see your knee going over your toe, you've got your knee going too far. You want to be descending straight down into that lunge. And I guess also you don't want to lean really far back. That just makes you feel like I'm going to fall. So always remember, knee descends straight down when you do a lunge. The advanced exercise is that of the kettlebell swing. Now, kettlebell swing, there are all sorts of thoughts on how to do it properly. We want to show you today how to actually do it properly. So, when you do a kettlebell swing, your feet are going to be slightly wider than hip width. Now, the bend does not come from the knees, the bend comes from the hips. So we're going to bend at the hips as we do the motion. You don't want to think that you're swinging with your shoulders. You're using the momentum created from your hips to help the weight move. So you'll see when I do it that my arms only go up to about here because I want the stress to stay on my hips, my legs, my core muscles. So as I do it, watch what I'm doing. So as I'm swinging, you can see the weight kind of goes weightless at the top, and I can let go because I'm not really using my shoulders that much. I'm generating all this power from my hips. So again, it's coming from here and my legs. When I do that kettlebell swing, I'm bending here. The bend is not coming from here. So as you do it, always think to yourself, okay, I'm generating power through my hips, and I'm not throwing the weight with my shoulders. That's how you get injured. This is how you get stronger. Hey everybody, so Coach Gabe and I here, we're going to show you how to do push-up and plank. These are two very often used exercises in our program, so we want to make sure you know how to do it right. So Coach Gabe is going to get down into push-up position, There's a few things you want to notice. So right now his hands are directly under his shoulders. He's looking about 6 to 12 inches in front of him, and his hips are in line with his feet. I mean, if his hips were a little higher, that's fine. If they were lower than he was, we've got saggy butt. We don't want that. That's putting a lot of stress on his low back. So as he goes down to a push-up, you'll notice that his elbows come at about a 45-degree angle. He's still looking forward a little bit, and as he comes up, everything comes up at the same time. So do a few more. Yes. Which is fantastic right there. Now, if a push-up's too hard, you can go onto your knees to modify. Same rules apply. You want to make sure those hands are right under those shoulders, just like Gabe, and you're looking forward a little bit. Because we always want to make sure you're comfortable and modify exercises as needed. So if you're not ready for a full push-up, that's totally fine. Feel free to go to your knees to stay comfortable. So now we're going to show you a plank.
Hey everybody, Coach Gabe here. This is a plank. This is really great to build your core because your core is not just about your abdomen, it's all around. It's your back, your abs, everything. So important things to look at is same idea with the push-up. Elbows are right under the shoulders, but could be a little bit higher, that's okay. Again, with the saggy butt, that's a no-go. No one wants a saggy butt. But you can see everything is neutral, spine is neutral. This is a safe position. Really good job, Coach Nick.
Fit Body Bootcamp, we use these resistance bands. Now, whenever you grab one, know that the thicker the cord, the harder. The thinner the cord, the easier. And when you use them, make sure you're not yanking them from here, so don't come here and pull on them. What'll happen is this will fly out of the wall and whack you in the face, so we don't want that. So, whenever you use these, take them off those holders. You're gonna put them right in here, because these guys, they're not going anywhere. Whenever you use them, make sure you're holding them evenly, not like this. And then you can do all sorts of things like pull. We'll do motions where you push, just like this. And again, when you use them, if you want it to be easier, you can step back. To make it harder, step forward. Exercise we commonly do here, well, using our abdomen, is crunches. Now, a lot of you don't necessarily know how to do a crunch, but don't worry, I'm gonna show you. And if you have low back pain and you're a little worried, don't worry, there's always a modification. So, a simple crunch. These are bent. Before we do anything, you're gonna draw in that belly button, just a little bit, and then fingers go behind your head, and it's not this. That's just flexing your neck. You actually want to come up a little bit. You don't have to come all the way up, but just as long as your shoulders come off the ground, you can see as I'm holding it here, I'm shaking, and then come down. Come up, flexing the muscles in your abdomen, and then coming down. Essentially, as long as your shoulders come off the ground, you're doing it right. And we'll do all sorts of variations where you throw your arms up and sit up. Maybe you turn. Who knows, depending on the day. But that's how you do a crunch. Make sure your shoulders do come off the ground. And always breathe out a little bit to make sure you're flexing that abdomen of yours. Another exercise we do quite a bit is box pull-ups. So that's what these bars are used for often. And we always do it with one of these boxes. Now, whenever you do this, I mean, initially you're probably thinking, Nick, I can't do a pull-up. That's okay. It's a box pull-up, so it's very, very assisted. So really anybody can do it. If you can use your legs to walk, you can do a box pull-up. So I'll show you what I mean. Hands go on the bar, and always make sure the box is significantly further in front of you. You don't want it directly under you because it's too awkward. You want your knee bent at about 90 degrees, and the other leg comes off the ground. And then you use your leg to help you come up into the pull-up. And then you let the leg help you to come back down, and then help you to pull up, and then help you to come back down. Now, if it was too hard for you, you could always do 2 feet. That's totally fine. Just remember, try and keep your butt back as you do it. Don't do this as you're doing the motion. Keep that butt back, and then as you get better, you can do variations where you jump up, let your leg come off, jump up, let your leg come off. So there's always a modification that you can use, but this is an exercise I'm sure you're gonna see eventually, and yes, you can do it. All right, one of the exercises we do often, or one of the pieces of equipment we use quite a bit, is the TRX. Now, TRX straps, they're not coming out of the wall, so you don't have to worry. But I want to show you some of the things that we do quite often. Now, one of those exercises is a row. So you'll fall back, palms facing each other, and then pull your body up towards where you're pulling from. As you do this, you want to keep looking towards where you're pulling from. That's just going to keep your shoulders back and your head up high. And as you pull, make sure you keep your abdomen drawn in. We don't want to have a saggy body or the opposite, shoving our stomach forward. Try and keep your body in a nice straight line and pull. Now the other exercise we do quite often is a push-up. Now push-up,